As Israel intensified its air and ground offensive against Hamas militant targets in the Gaza Strip, Israeli mourners marked the anniversary of the terrorist attack that Hamas launched in southern Israel on October 7, 2023. About 1,200 people were killed and 250 were kidnapped. Hamas is still holding about 100 of them captive. During a ceremony led by Rabbi Aaron Alexander, U.S. President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden lit a candle in the White House in remembrance of the victims. Vice President Kamala Harris and the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, marked the October 7th anniversary by planting a memorial tree on the grounds of their official residence.
We must reunite the hostages held in Gaza with their families. And I will never stop fighting for the release of all the hostages, including the American citizens, living and deceased.
U.S. Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal expressed U.S. support of Israel Monday as they met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
It was the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust, but unlike the Holocaust, we fight back. And we're fighting like lions with the support of the American government.
Even with mandated civilian evacuations, Israel's military campaign has left nearly 42,000 Palestinians dead and more than 97,000 wounded, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry, which does not distinguish between combatants and civilians in its count. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller acknowledged the civilian suffering on both sides during Monday's briefing with reporters.
The United States mourns the death of every innocent who died on October 7th and in the year since. And we are determined to continue to work for a ceasefire agreement that brings the hostages home, alleviates the suffering of the Israeli and Palestinian people, and ultimately brings an end to this war.
Israel, however, has widened its war to include Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. The Iranian-backed militia had recently intensified its retaliatory attacks for the war in Gaza. Peace in the region, at least in the short term, will probably continue to be elusive, analysts say.
Absent the return of all the hostages, it's hard to see this Israeli government, or frankly any Israeli government, agreeing to a ceasefire.
Relatives of the hostages still held captive by Hamas also commemorated the October 7th attack. During a ceremony in Tel Aviv, they repeated their demands that Israel negotiate the hostages' release. But analyst Cohen is skeptical Netanyahu's government will change its approach anytime soon. Veronica Balderas Iglesias, VOA News, Washington.